Now, if you watched my last video, you'll have seen that I used this sanding paddle, hand paddle, and I'm sanding all of these patches. Okay, let's talk now about painting really quick. These are patches on the wall, and how are we going to patch this in properly? Well, after you get everything sanded, what you're going to do is you can use primer on your patches first, or you can use flat paint. Lots of times I use flat paint for priming, and it seems to do okay. Now these walls here, this is an eggshell paint, and it's got just a little bit of a sheen on it. And so what you do is after you get one coat of flat paint on there or primer, then you're going to apply 2 coats of finished paint over all of your patches. Don't just do one, because it's going to bleed through. You're going to see it. It's not going to be fine. And use the same exact existing paint that matches if you can get it, and 2 coats over that. Now, the owner is going to paint the rest of this bathroom, and here's the thing. When you do 2 patches, or when you do 2 coats of finished paint over there, if you're doing a patch, no matter what you do, you're always going to see it to a certain extent. If you look back and stand back and look at it at an angle through the light and that. I don't know why this thing's going blurry. It's an HD camera. I guess there's not enough light in here or something. I have no idea. But anyways, if you do that, you may see it. So see where this wall is right here? If you weren't going to paint this whole thing, and if your patch was just on this wall, I would do 1 coat of primer there on that patch, 2 coats of finish, and then I would paint that end to end with a 3rd coat. Okay, over your patch with your 2 coats of paint, and that'll blend in perfectly. Okay, he's going to paint this whole bathroom, so that's what I told him. I said 1 coat of primer on all of your patches, 2 coats of finished paint on all of your patch areas, then go over all of your bathroom walls with your last coat, because you're going to repaint it. If you do it any different way, if you only put 1 coat of finish on here and then say, oh, I'm just going to paint the whole thing, well, now you're going to have 3 coats of paint right here, and you're only going to have 2 coats of paint where this patch is. And if you're looking at it sideways, you might see it. Okay, there's the tip for you for the day. Hey Joe, when are you going to install the new light switch for the ceiling fan up here? That's not there yet. And the existing light switch that's for the shower. When are you going to do that? Well, we're not going to do that until this wall gets painted. This wall has a patch up there that's got to be primed, 2 coats of finish, and then a 3rd coat to paint this entire small little wall from end to end. Okay, then is the time to install the light switch. The same thing for your ceiling fan. Remember on this, I have a patch up there. You see that patch up there? It's just before we're getting ready to paint, and the owner's going to paint this. Well, he wanted me to install that ceiling fan, and I said, no, let's go ahead and paint first. Then you don't have the extension in your way, you don't have the top trim in the way, you don't have the ceiling fan in your way, and all that kind of stuff. You know, now is the time to do the painting. After all the painting gets done, I'll be back to install the ceiling fan. Yes, I am back. And I just got done sanding these walls, and you see here, yes, I did use it. I've got everything nicely sanded and nice and smooth. And see, if you sand too much, I didn't really sand any harder than I thought, but you see right there, that's the quickset showing through. And see, here's another patch. Here's a little bit of quickset showing through here, and a little bit right there even. If you get that much, that's not enough to do anything. See, there's another little bit right up in there. But you don't want to sand off too much, or you're going to get too much of that quickset showing through, okay? See this wall here? There's a couple little spots showing and up on the ceiling, but that's good. And I sanded all the way out as far as I needed to. And then I took a dry rag and I wiped all that down to get most of the dust off. And then I was talking to the owner and he said, hey, what kind of rag you want? You want a wet one? I thought, oh, that's a good idea. So I used a dry rag first and then I used a wet rag. And then I wiped over all of that and that got lots of the dust off. But when you use a wet rag, you just want to kind of lightly do it. You don't want to do it any harder than need be, because what happens is you could get the top of your sheetrock mud wet and then you could start smearing it, okay? But I wiped it all down. Now it's all ready to be primed. Oh yes. Man, we're doing pretty good with this project. I don't need any of this now. And you see this craft paper, I took an extra piece of craft paper, so when I was mixing up the sheetrock mud and the quicksand and stuff, anything I didn't have I threw down here. Now I can fold that piece up, and there's extra craft paper down. We put it up over here on the sink. We put it down here on the floor. See all this dust? We can sweep some of that up before we start painting so we don't track it out into the other room. And I even put a piece of craft paper right here, my favorite stuff. This is not that resin paper. This is just brown, but they have that reddish stuff at the store too. So see, I'm gonna put that there on over to the carpet right there. That way you can wipe your feet. It kind of protects areas right in here. And then you can just leave this paper down after you sweep all this stuff up, and this can be your drop cloth for your painting. Okay, now once he does his painting, he's gonna have to take this light fixture down. It's a good thing to do that. At least the top trim that unsnaps, and then that whole outside piece comes down. He'll probably have to take the blind down, or he could leave that up. It's gonna be kind of tricky to cut that in. Take the picture off. I mean, you can go as far as taking the towel ring off and even the towel bars. You know, it doesn't take long to do that, especially if you're going to repaint the entire thing. If you're not going to just paint the patches, you're going to repaint all the walls. Don't think, oh, I'll just kind of take this stuff. Hey, come on. Why is this thing blurry? You know, this is supposed to be a good camera. What's the deal here? There's no dust on here. I've left it out. But in any case, take these off, because if you think, oh, I'll just paint around this with the roller, no biggie. I'll use a mini roller or something, then I'll cut in around here with the paintbrush. Well, here's the thing. This is smooth wall finish. There's no texture on these walls or on the ceiling or anything like that. And when you paint, you want to try to use the same thing. If you're going to do it with the roller, and I would suggest doing it with the roller, you don't want to paint around here with a paintbrush, because then that's going to be smooth with the brush, and then your roller right in through here everywhere else is going to have a natural texture look on there depending on what kind of roller you use. Okay, see, here's some of my dust remnants. I should probably wipe that off. But that dust gets everywhere. Let me tell you, after you sand, you'd be surprised. And we ended up leaving the door on, and I closed the door when I sanded in here. Okay, this dust goes everywhere, so make sure to keep the door closed. And if you have any air conditioning ducts or anything like that, make sure those are shut off and turned off and all of that. And keep your dust to a minimum. But see how dusty it gets everywhere. Okay, do a good job and get ready to do your painting. That's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos.